So this is room number 1. Yeah, please make sure all of the participants are in the right room. So now this is the parallel session number 3 and we are in room 1. For your information, this session is particularly focused on sports tourism and interdisciplinary. And for your information, I hope that all of you have already registered your attendance to the support team. We have Muhammad Shafiq Abdul Rahman and also Puan Noraini Rahim. And for all information, I will be the chairperson for this session and also the first presenter. And I will be assisted by Ms. Nur Nadia Maisara, the co-chairperson. Okay. And I was told that we need to have the group photo. First one is for all, including all members in this session, and then we need to have a photo for one presenter. Okay, for your information also, the first presentation will start with SPT 101, and then after 10 minutes presentation plus with the 5 minutes Q&A, we will proceed to the second presenter, SPT 100. The same duration, 10 minutes for the presentation and 5 minutes for the Q&A, and then followed by SPT 102, and then ROB 100. The last one would be SMA 104. Is that clear, everyone? Can you listen to my voice? All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. And without further ado, let's proceed to the first presentation. But before that, Nadia, do you want to take the group photo first? Yeah. Okay. So everyone, kindly turn on your camera, and we can take the photo before we proceed with the presentation. Yeah. So Nadia, you will be in charge on this part, right?
Yes, correct, Doctor. So
all right, okay. So everyone, yeah, okay.
Please turn on your camera.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Miss Nadia. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, without further ado, let's proceed with the first presentation. Yeah. And again, the presentation is only for 10 minutes, and the Q&A will be the last session, 5 minutes. So we need to stick to that time, yeah, in order to make sure that this session will be conducted during the schedule given. Okay, so now let's me do the presentation. Okay, give me 1 second, yeah. Let me share the screen. Okay, so this one. So hopefully all of you can see the screen now. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, now I start my presentation. Okay, so my name is Razlana Binti Razwan. I'm currently working in UITM Seremban, particularly under the Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation. So this is my research topic. Yeah, the research topic is about the moderating effects of personnel characteristics and also motivational factors. So this is focusing on the propensity to use the sports event tourism website. Okay. So and then when we look at the next slide, so this is the contents of my presentation. It consists with the introduction, the hypothesis, the methodology, findings and discussion, and wraps up with the implications of the study. So now let's just look at the introduction. Actually, for your information, this research was conducted back in 2013. That was during I did my PhD in UUM, University Utara Malaysia. So, during that time, yeah, we can see that there are so many research related to internet, the websites and things like that. But then there are some shortage when it comes to the knowledge, especially related to the moderating effects. We do have a research in the independent variables, the dependent variables, but then when it comes to the moderating effects, especially related to the personal characteristics and also the motivational factors of the user, so we can see the gap there. That's why this research was conducted. And for your information, this research was designed by utilizing the Esport website acceptance model SWAM. Okay, so this theory was developed in 2011. Okay, 2011. So this theory particularly investigate on the customer perceived value and also intention to use sports events tourism website. So under the SWAM theory, sports website acceptance models consist of four components of the perceived value. And these factors or these components are accessibility, flexibility, interactivity, also reliability. And then on the other part, when this research wanted to look on the moderating effects on the motivational factors, it utilized the UGT. So UGT is the users and gratifications theory. So this is more onto looking the attitudes and also intention of the user. So in this case, it's the sports event tourists on how they use the internet as online communication, also website marketing in order to look onto the media perspective on how they develop their own website. And then the next slide is more onto the hypothesis of the research. So basically, this research consists of four different hypotheses. The first one wanted to look on the relationship. So in this case, the relationship between the customer perceived value and also propensity to use the sports event tourism website. And then the second hypothesis is wanted to look on the personal characteristics. So in this research, the personal characteristics consist of four: age, gender, education, also income. Okay, and then the third one, the third hypothesis is motivational factors. So motivational factors as the moderating effects on connecting between the perceived value and also propensity to use the website. So these motivational factors consist of two: the entertainment gratification, also informativeness gratifications. The last hypothesis is, the researcher wanted to look on among these four components of customer perceived value. So which one is actually influenced the most on the propensity to use the sports events tourism websites. And then the next one is the research methodology. So this is a kind of survey method, quantitative, non-experimental research design. And then this survey method is, using a technique of gathering data, asking question, to the targeted respondent. Okay, and then a self-administered questionnaire adapted and adopted from the previous literature. So this one consists of 530 samples altogether. So within these 530, 350, 15 are males, whereby 215 are females. So who are these samples? So the samples are coming from sports tourists or individual tourists that involved in three different sports events in Malaysia. Again, as I mentioned earlier, back in 2013. So what are these events? It consists of the Monsoon Cup in Terengganu, the International Triathlon in Port Dickson, also the Kuala Lumpur Marathon, Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon. Okay, so all these three events is considered as a group under the sport event tourism. And then probability sampling was utilized for this research. The next one, this is the finding and also discussion for research for the hypothesis one. So as a result, in order to achieve the or to justify, to investigate whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected. So this is the result. So the results for hypothesis one, it indicates that, is a positive relationship between the customer perceived value, also intention or propensity to use the website. So even though when we look at the table, even though the relationship is positive, but it's only happen in a moderate kind of relationship. But still, when it comes to the questions or the hypothesis to determine to investigate the relationship, yes, there is a significant positive relationship. The next one is to respond to the second hypothesis, among the four personal characteristics. So which one is actually moderate the relationship between the perceived value and also propensity to use the website. So these are the results. It indicates that among all these four factors, three of them is actually moderate, whereby only income did not moderate. So why income did not moderate? Because based on the respondent during this research, it indicates that actually, when it comes to assessing the information on the website and everything, the income plays an important role, whereby actually it is not it is not moderating between perceived value and also propensity, because it reflects to the household of the income, the household income of the family, the users and everything. So that is that's the input from this research. Again, back in 2013, but I think there are so many differences. Now we are in 2021. And then the third hypothesis, this one, the third hypothesis, when we look at this part, it's more onto to see the moderating effects on the motivational factors. So as I mentioned earlier, motivational factors consist of the entertainment gratification and also informativeness gratification. But actually, the results indicate only 14.8%. Saying this, meaning that all of the combination, between perceived values and also the propensity to use the website is slightly the same. This respondent in this research, it indicates that actually, regardless of the entertainment or the informative, slightly these are all the same importance. So they moderate, in terms of perceived value and also the intention or propensity to use the website. The last hypothesis, to look onto among all these four components of the perceived value, only the first two factors, indicate by the number of 11.7% of the total variant. I mean, like between the perceived value and also the propensity to use the website, saying that flexibility and reliability tend to be the most factors that influence, between the variables. Okay, and then the last part is this one, the implications. So in the end, this research actually contribute, consists of three different implications. The first one is on the theoretical implications. So we know that the SWAM, swarm theory, is actually developed from the TRA. TRA stands for Theory of Reason Action, and then the TRA developed by the other name, which is known as TAM, Theory of Acceptance Model. Then eventually it came up with the sports website acceptance model. Then this model developed in 2011 was utilized in this research. So that is on the theoretical implication. We see how it focused more specific to the sports tourist, whereby in the previous research they more focused on the users in general. The next one, in terms of the implication, is practical implication. How this research contribute on strengthening the organization marketing strategies, how they can actually strengthen, develop more on the features in their own website, so that they have to include the consumer preferences, which is focusing on the enjoyment and also easiness to use the website. So actually, these are the most important thing that the organization need to stress. When they wanted to develop their website, they have to make sure that they look onto the customer preferences of enjoyment, try to reduce as much pop-up as possible, for example, and also make sure that this website is easily accessed. The last one is the social implication. So this one is more onto the marketing side, where the organizer or the owner of the website, they know how to market your product and also the services effectively. And the last part is the list of the reference. So these are the list of the reference. And I think that's it for the presentation. Yeah, thank you so much. That's it. Thank you. Hopefully it's not too fast, but thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Doctor. Let's proceed to question and answer session.
Yes, please.
Hello, doctor. I have one question.
Yes, please.
All right. May I know what were the events that addressed to the respondents as they
Yeah,
are going to answer on the intensity of using the sport event tourism website?
yeah,
Tourism
okay.
website.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Patricia, for the questions. As I mentioned earlier, it's just I did not state that in my slide presentation. For the sample of this research consists of a total of 530. So they these people, this target or this sample are coming from three different sports events. Consists of Monsoon Cup in Terengganu, but I think there is no more Monsoon Cup in Terengganu now. They change it to Johor, if I'm not mistaken. No more Monsoon Cup in Terengganu. That was the first one. The second one is the Port Dickson International Triathlon. Okay, I think that event also no more conducted now. I don't know what happened to the sports tourism in Malaysia. And the last one is the Standard Chartered International Marathon. Yeah, so all these three events, they come up with these 530 respondent. Yeah, hopefully I'm answering your question, Patricia.
Yeah, that's a quite a huge sports event. It means a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately there is no, these events are no longer conducted. Yeah.
All right, great.
Right, thank you. Um, Nadia?
Any question from the floor before we proceed to second presenter? Okay, since there's no a question, let's proceed to second presenter.
Okay, I think I take over from Nadia. Now I change my, now I change my role. No more the presenter. So I'll be the chairperson for this session. And let's just welcome Mr. Lo Hao Zheng with the title Why Esports? An Extended Technology Acceptance Model on Gamers' Attention with the paper ID SPT100. Mr. Low, the floor is yours. Please proceed with your presentation. Thank you and good luck.
Okay. Wait, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes. We can see your screen. Yeah, you may profit, Mr. Low.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lo Hao Zheng. I'm from Utah. So today I'm going to present my study with the topic of why esport and extended technology acceptance model on gamers' intention. So firstly, I will introduce about esport a bit. So esport or electronic sport is a professional competitive gaming or entertainment activities either in the form of team or individual that compete with each other for the purpose of winning the prize. So esport is also recognized as the tournament level and interactive video games in which a small group of gamers now play the game professionally and spend time to improve their skill. Through the extensive popularity of esport, it brings much economic advantage to the world. For instance, according to Newzoo, the global game market revenue in year 2020 have achieved about $177.8 billion, and the Asia Pacific recorded the highest contribution in the world. So with the attractive global trends of esport, these trends are also being followed by the gaming community in Southeast Asia, especially in Malaysia. There were a lot of esport events has been organized and incentives are provided in order to increase the number of enthusiasts and the country's revenue. Malaysia government has shown its support on esports sector by allocating a budget to develop the esports sectors. So for instance, $3.6 million in year 2021 has been allocated by the government toward esports sectors. And from this allocation of budget, esport has gained increasing popularity in Malaysia in the recent year. Then the largest esport facility in Southeast Asia is expected to be launched in year 2022 in Kuala Lumpur. However, there are more improvement is needed in local esport industry. This is due to there are several issues facing by current esport scene. So for instance, firstly, the mechanism relating to the gamers' privacy issues and the internet speed in Malaysia has slowed down the development of esport. Besides, the unhealthy gaming habits has also led to the negativity of people perception about esport as not productivity as traditional sport. And last but not least, the current studies that related to the factors that affect gamers' intention in theoretical perspective is still limited.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Low. I think your presentation, the slide is not moving. We are still in the cover. The cover
sorry.
of your presentation. Yes, the front page of your
Oh.
presentation.
Notebook. Right.
Thank you, Dr. Farhad, for letting us know.
Thank you for reminding. I think I have to close my camera and try and see.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Can you see now? Sorry.
Yes, we can see, but are we still in the
Still the first
problem
page.
statement? The problem
Yeah.
statement. Okay.
I'm now in problem statement.
Okay,
Okay, I will
cool. Yes.
continue with the problem statement. The objective of this study is to examine the factors that affect gamer intention to participate in esport. Okay. For the literature review, technology acceptance model TAM was used as the theoretical background in this study to predict and explain the technology adoption of an individual. TAM is an adaptation of theory of region action. It is found to be more favorable and parsimonious capable in explaining IT adoption behavior and intention. And TAM is categorized as the modest theoretical model as it provides a more efficient way in determining the general behavior of an individual toward technology adoption. Besides that, in order to have a better explanation on the behavior and intention of a gamer, TAM provides a fundamental way for outlining the influence of external factors on the attitude and behavior of gamers. So based on the issue that has been highlighted in the problem statement, this study apply TAM with, sorry, I cannot move my screen, sorry. Okay, now I'll continue. So with the issue that have been highlighted in the problem statement, this study applied TAM with two critical external antecedents, which are service mechanism and gratification, to predict and explain the behavior and intention of a gamers toward esport. So in this study, service mechanism is defined as the service that provided by game service provider to protect the gamer accounts and maintain root adherence in order to ensure a good gaming experience. While gratification in this study is defined as the need derived from participating in esports, such as the need for enjoyment and social. Furthermore, the role of attitude are also served as the important mediation factors in this study as well. Attitude is defined as the degree to which a person has a favorable or unfavorable evaluation or appraisal of the behavior in question. An attitude of an individual toward a certain behavior is significantly determined by their evaluation as well as their cognitive beliefs. So based on a discussion on literature review and the theoretical background as mentioned earlier, a proposed framework has been developed which consists of 5 hypotheses. And these are the hypotheses of the study. Okay. Now move to research methodology. Since this study is to examine the behavior of a gamer toward esport participation, so it is categorized as descriptive research and quantitative method was used. The target population of this study was the university or college student who are exposed to video games activity. This population is targeted because there are large portion of sport enthusiasts are these university or college students. And simple random sampling method was used as the sampling technique to select the respondent. So in this study, a total of 453 response have been collected and the data was analyzed using Smart PLS software. So for the result
Mr.
and
Low,
analysis,
sorry, Mr. Low, are we still in the
yeah,
literature? I think no more, right? Because the
yes,
slide is
it's
in
still,
literature review now.
oh, it's still cannot move, is it?
Yeah, we are still at the literature review part.
You can see now?
The results
Sorry?
and analysis, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Proceed,
Okay,
please.
proceed. So for the result and analysis, table 1 and 2 show the assessment of measurement model of this study. So for the convergent validity as shown in the table 1, the factor loading of all the items are well exceed the minimum value of 0.7, while the AVE and composite reliability are also larger than the recommended cutoff value of 0.5 and 0.7 respectively. For the discriminant validity, the HDMT ratio of shows that all the constructs, none of the constructs are larger than 0.9. So the discriminant validity are presented as well in the study. And table 3 and 4 shows the structural model analysis and mediating analysis result of this study. So from these two tables, all the hypotheses were supported. So now I move to discussion of the result. So based on the result, it shows that a game mechanism to play an important role in deciding positive or negative attitude toward esport. In other words, a good services that's provided by game service provider serve as a necessary factors for gamers to possess good and positive gaming experience. Besides, the result also shows a significant role of gratification have a higher influence over service mechanism on the gamer's attitude and intention. This might indicate that once gamers gratify their needs, such as the needs for social and enjoyment, they tend to have positive attitude and intention to participate in esport. So furthermore, the role of attitude also serves as an important and significant impact on behavioral intention toward esport participation. This can be explained that when user possesses a positive attitude towards some technology or media, they tend to have intention of adopting it. And the result also suggests that the attitude of gamers should be emphasized and carefully be worked on, since the mediation effect of attitude are also well presented in this study as well. So for the research implication, in terms of practical implication, and this study highlighted the influence of gratification and service mechanism toward intention of gamer in esport. So the facilities such as the internet accessibility and hardware and software are worth emphasizing in further development of esport. By doing this, the esport organizer or the game service developers are capable by identifying which game services is the most suitable to be used in the tournament and motivate them to participate more in esport. As for the theoretical implication, the application of TAM provide a strong theoretical basis in predicting and explaining the behavior and intention of a gamers. And the result also can serve as a benchmark and provide useful information for future researcher to get new insight about gamers' motivation. So last but not least, for the social implication, so based on the finding of this study, the game companies and provider can gain insight on how to improve the well-being as well as the perception of the society. So for instance, they can actually focus on corporate social responsibilities, CSR, to offer a quality, healthy, and legal gaming content and services to the gaming community. So for the recommendation, in conclusion, the recommendation firstly, the future research can conducted the other esport related research with different population or category of population or research topic in order to keep in track with their changing preferences. So besides, future scholar can also apply a quantitative method to gain in-depth knowledge about gamers' behavior and intention. So in conclusion, through the understanding of gamer attitude and intention toward esport, it is able to provide useful knowledge for the policy makers and other relevant parties so that they can understand what is the current gamer preferences and consider appropriate rules and regulations. The result of this study could also provide a useful knowledge for the sport marketing and management in strengthening the current immature esports scene in a more professional way. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Okay.
Any question?
Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lo Hao Zheng from
Welcome to.
Utah. Is it? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And also welcome to those participants or audience who just come and join us in session 3, room 1. So do you have any question to ask Mr. Low regarding to his presentation just now? Anyone?
Yeah, please raise your question and suggestion. Thank you.
Yes, please. Is
Hello, Mr. Lo. I have
Hi.
question for you.
Yeah, please.
What a very interesting phenomena nowadays, the esports. Um, Based on your research, the previously that you have conducted, who are the participants?
University or college student who are joining the video game clubs or societies.
Oh, all of them are playing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
esports.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Low.
Yeah, please.
Okay, when did you conduct this study? When was it conducted?
When I conducted during January last year, August until January.
Last year.
August until January of this year.
All right. Okay. Now, I would like to know your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you predict will happen in the esports in the next 5 to 10 years?
You mean in Malaysia or
Yeah. Overall.
international?
Yeah.
Overall,
International. Generally.
I think all the esport will be replaced from PC based to mobile based. So since the mobile technology now is getting advanced and advanced, so they will move from PC and console to mobile games. I think the trend will be changed.
All right. Okay, Mr. Law. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lau, for the presentation. Is there any questions from the audience? Thank you, thank you, Miss Patricia, and also Miss Christine for the question just now. So if there is no question, I think we will proceed to the next presentation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lozhausen. Now, let's just invite Ms. Nuraimi Uthman with the title, The Mediating Effect of Sports Tourist Satisfaction, in the relationship between motivation and revisit intention with the paper ID as PT102. Ms. Noraimi, the floor is yours and good luck with your presentation.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Yana. Hi, good to see you here. All right, so let me share the screen first. I think Mr. Lo,
yeah, Mr. Lo, sorry. I think we are about to say the same thing. Mr. Lo, can you stop presenting now your slide? Yeah, thank you. Okay, Ms. Noraimi, it's yours now.
All right. All right. Can you see my screen, my slides?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all the attendees this afternoon. All right. So my name is Noraimi binti Osman. I'm currently working in UITM Perlis branch. All right. So today I would like to share the research topic with the title "The Mediating Effect of Sports Tourist Satisfaction in the Relationship Between Motivation and Revisit Attention." All right, so this is going to be the presentation outline. I'm going to start with the introductions, followed by the problem statement, conceptual framework, research objective, findings, discussion, and gonna wrap up with a conclusion. All right, so let's start with the introduction first. So what is the topic? So sports tourism is a growing industry within the tourism sector. Studies have shown that tourist motivation with the destination positively impact their attitudes and reactions to tourism within the destinations. So why is the topic is important? Marketing methods based on the thorough understanding of sports tourist motivations and satisfactions can effectively increase their attendance and, of course, their loyalty to sporting events and even the travel destination. So sports tourists, they might have a various reason, okay, to take part in different forms of sporting activities, either it's actively or passively. So this process has resulted in wide variety of motive for participation due to the different needs of each participant. So what do we know the topic in general? Basically, tourism literature has studied motivation to better understand and predict travel behavior. And our understanding and predicting can help companies to create destination marketing plans. And according to CHU 2017, so visitors with high satisfaction levels are more likely to have a positive attitude toward the experience. And of course, when they have this kind of positive attitudes, so they would like to, the intention to return to the same destination and also to purchase tourism-related products. All right, so future research needed. So knowledge of sport tourist travel motivation has only recently gained more attention. However, research in this area has mostly focused on the relationship between motivations as a general and also satisfaction, rather than the intrinsic and extrinsic motivations of tourist experiences that lead to the attention to revisit a destination. So what can be the usefulness of this study? So this study aims to determine the perceptions of intrinsic and extrinsic motivations in predicting sports tourist satisfaction and intention to revisit. So the study focuses on sport tourism as it could positively influence the development of the tourism industry in terms of tourist behavioral intentions. All right, so let's move on to the problem statement. Okay, I adopt this problematization for I technique by Dr. Othman Talib or Dr. OT. So let's look at the basic idea of the problem statement. So the first one is idealistic. So sports tourists travel for a variety of reasons, okay, to participate in various sports. So the interests of participants have led to a wide range of motivations for participation. So for their reason, marketing planners, event planners have developed the tourism marketing strategies to entice the customers to visit a destination. The issue is the level of satisfaction of tourists is closely linked to their travel needs. So therefore, a clear picture of motivation is needed that address a different level of satisfaction. Yet research in this area has largely focused on the relationship between motivation and satisfaction rather than the specific specific intrinsic and also extrinsic motive. The implication is marketing strategies that focus on sport visitor motivations and satisfaction can effectively enhance attendance and loyalty. So it is believed that sporting activities have the potential to attract more international tourists as well as improve the destination's popularity. So thus this study is to investigate the relationship between intrinsic and extrinsic motivations in predicting sport tourist satisfaction and intention to revisit revisit a particular segment of the sport tourism industry, which is for this study, we are focusing on water sports in Batu Ferringhi, Penang, Malaysia. All right, so this is the research framework. All right, so the variable used for this study is intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. We have in intrinsic motivation, we have enjoyment, personal feeling, physical pleasure. For extrinsic, we have reward and appearance. So basically, we hypothesize that there is a significant relationship between the motivation and also the sport tourist satisfactions. And we are also looking into the relationship between the sport tourist satisfaction and revisit intention. And the last one, we are going to see, we are looking into the mediated effect of the sports tourist satisfactions. All right, so these are the research objectives. So as I mentioned, the first objective, we want to examine the relationship between the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation with sport tourist satisfaction. The second one is to determine the relationship between sport tourist satisfaction with a revisit intention. And the third objective, to investigate the satisfaction, whether the satisfaction mediates the relationship between the motivation and also intention to revisit. For the methodology part, so this is a descriptive correlational study that use a purposive sampling. So the methods of collecting data, we use a survey questionnaire, and the administration of questionnaire method was self-administered. For the instrumentation, so the questionnaire was adopted from the participation motivation questionnaire by Jill et al. 1983, and the underlying items of satisfaction and revisit by Shaw and Chiladure. The Cronbach alpha for all the items seems to be reliable, okay, for further analysis. All right, for the respondents. So the respondents were sport tourists who visited Batu Ferringhi, Penang, Malaysia. That was on 2019. And all respondents was screened 18 years old and above. And a total of 357 respondents participate in the study. And it is based on the reference guide by the table of determination of sampling size by Kurji and Morgan. Okay, let's move on to the findings. So this is the mean and standard deviation. So from the construct of intrinsic and also extrinsic motivation, so we can see the highest mean score was the enjoyment, and the lowest mean was the rewards, that is on the extrinsic motivations. All right, for the correlation analysis, so this is to answer the hypothesis. So as we can see from all the value here, the highest correlation that we got is between the enjoyment and satisfaction. That is, we can say that is a positive and high correlation between the enjoyment and satisfaction. And what we can conclude from this finding is the most of the respondents, okay, the respondents agreed that when they feel enjoyed with their travel or with the activity that they do, so it will increase their satisfactions. Okay, so this is the main part of the study, which is we want to see whether there is whether the satisfaction mediates the relationship between the motivation and revisit intention. So if we can see from the figure here, all right. So before we evaluate the mediation effect, all right, so the satisfaction was tested in terms of the overall motivations and also the revisit intention. So we are using the Barron and Kenny conditions, all right. So we have to match the three conditions by Barron and Kenny. So the condition is each of the each of the relationship must they must have a relationship between the predictor, which is the motivations, the mediator, and also the outcome. So if you can see all the beta value here, all right, so it shows that all the three conditions have been met. All right, so to test the mediator hypothesis, so we are using a stepwise regression, all right, to conduct to see the direction of each independent variable and also the dependent variable. So we have found that when we include the sport tourist satisfaction in the model, so they are decreasing, okay, they are decreasing in the number of the beta value, which showed that there is a partial mediation effect for this study. All right, so the results show that both motivations and the satisfaction of sports explain 51.2% of the variance in revisit intention. For the discussion, so the majority of respondents agreed that the experience at Batu Ferringhi gave them pleasure because they could enjoy the natural beauty and relax. So for people who appreciate nature and want to relieve stress from a hectic city, so Batu Ferringhi view was really good. Sports tourism provides opportunities for relaxations, especially when we want to interact with the natural environment. So in this study, sport tourists were found to have stronger motivation who derive satisfaction from the feeling of enjoyment, and they would return to the event or the destinations regularly. And then according to Mark Rovich, Moore et al., so travelers travel to escape daily routine. So those with a hectic schedule find it difficult to rest and relax at work. So they opt to travel and leisure to unwind. This study also found that satisfaction partially mediates the relationship between motivation and revisit attention. So although motivation has a direct effect on revisit attention, it is significantly influenced by sport tourist satisfaction with a particular sports destination. So this study reveals that the sports tourist motivation influence the return intention. However, the indirect effect via the satisfaction is far larger. So the results show that both motivation and satisfaction of sport touring explains 51.2% of the variance in revisit attention. So again, so sport tourist satisfaction must create a memorable event experience. So organizers should improve these factors such as facilities, comfort, visibility, marketing, staffing, as well as supplies. According to Trimurti and Tama, the authors found that the two vacation motivations by the respondents in their study were relaxed and healthy. So to maximize the sport tourist motivation, both event management and host city need to enhance visitor satisfaction. All right, so some recommendations for the future research. So the first recommendation is to administer the survey instrument to the other, since this study only focusing on water sports activities in Batu Ferringhi. All right. So by having a different type of event or different type of sports destination, so we can get cross sections of sport tourists in the different sporting destination. And then comparison study between active and passive sport tourists. So to let you know, the respondent in this study is we didn't actually separate or divide between the active and passive sport tourists. So it will be useful maybe for the future research. We can do a comparison study because maybe active and passive sport tourists might have a different kind of motivations. And the last one is include any other intrinsic and extrinsic motivation factors. So as for the conclusion, so the overall results show that intrinsic motivation are the most influential factor that can satisfy the sports tourists who attended Batu Fringhi. And it also found that the willingness to return to Batu Fringhi in the future is positively affected by sport tourist satisfaction. So the more sport tourists feel, the more sport tourists feel the satisfaction towards the destination. So the more satisfied they are, and they will they will have the intention to return to the destination. So it is an excellent opportunity for the tourism sector to attract the attention of tourists by understanding the visitor motivations. And as we know that sports tourism is one of the most important contributors to the economy. So this can be evidenced by sport tourism activities at Batu Fringhi, as they can increase the number of tourists and promote local economic development. So that is all for my presentation. Thank you so much. I would love to hear any comments or suggestions from the floor. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Nuraimi Uthman. Let's just open to the audience. If you have any questions, yes, please ask your question to Miss Nuraimi.
Hello, Miss Nuraimi. I have one question, maybe two. Can I have two? A simple two question. All right. Yeah, very interesting. I miss Penang a lot. Okay. The first question would be, what was the level of satisfaction as overall among the participants? And number two question, the second question would be, what do you think contribute to the least motivation on the red color just now? That's all.
Oh, okay, all right. So the level of satisfaction, because for this particular study, we use a Likert scale of 1 to 5. All right. So from strongly disagree 1 to strongly agree 5. So it means that the level of satisfaction 5 is representing the most satisfied they are. Is that answering your question, Miss Pat?
And then the score of the participants, what's the mean score for the overall satisfaction level among them?
Okay, do you mean the mean score?
Yeah, the satisfaction alone.
Oh, all right. Okay, I think I didn't put in my slides here. It must be somewhere. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the mean score. Sorry, I didn't put in the slides, but the mean score for the overall satisfaction is 4.36.
All right.
Yeah. And then what was the second question again?
The second question, what do you think contribute to the least on the reward mean score for the motivation? Reward is extrinsic, correct?
Yeah,
what do you think on that?
Yeah, reward. It showed here was the lowest mean. I can say the lowest mean among the other motivations. So what I can suggest, or what can I conclude from this finding was the sports tourists or the respondents, they might feel reward is not really an important motivation for them. To whenever they want to go for to visit a destination, because as we can see from the means and the mean score here, so most of the sports tourists, they feel like the the intrinsic motivation is more important than the extrinsic motivations. Yeah. Okay. Despite all the questions.
Okay, thank you, Miss Patricia, for the questions, and also answer from Miss Norami. Is there any other questions from the audience? Okay, so I think there is no more question. Thank you so much, Miss Noraimi.
All right.
Now, yeah, okay, thank you. Now we proceed to the next presenter, and this is, sorry if I wrong to pronounce your name. Yeah, this is Didar Sankali.
Didar
With the,
Sarı Çallı, right?
come again. Sorry, Didar.
Didar Sarı Çallı.
Okay,
No
sorry.
problem, Professor.
All right. I try my best to pronounce your name. Yeah. Now let's just proceed. Okay. Now let's just proceed to the next presenter, Didar Sarlikarli, with the title "The Impact of Different Types of Service Robots Usage in Hotel on Guests' Intention to Stay," with the paper ID ROB 100. Didar, the floor is yours. You may start with the presentation, and good luck.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. First of all, before starting the presentation, I want to thank the organization committee for this successful and productive congress. Thank you all, and greetings from Turkey, Sakarya. Actually, it's still morning here. Good afternoon to you all. Okay, now I'll start my presentation. Is it okay? Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay now?
I'm afraid it's not. Okay, yeah. Now we can see us. Yeah, now we can see the screen. Yes, Didar, please proceed. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Okay, the title of our paper is "The Impact of Different Types of Service Robots Usage in Hotel on Guest Intention to Stay." So the researchers are 4 researchers from Sakarya University and Sakarya University of Applied Sciences, Turkey, and from different faculties: tourism faculty, business school, vocational school, and faculty of computer and information sciences, from different departments like tourism guidance, management information systems, industrial design, and information systems engineering. Okay, my presentation plan, here you see. We will start with the introduction, a short introduction, and then I will underline the purpose, the problem statement, and the originality value of the paper, and methodology, findings, and theoretical practical implications, and I'll talk about the research limitations. Okay, you know that nowadays robot usage in hotels are very common now, and it provides so many benefits to the business, to the hoteliers and guests who are using the service in different ways. Especially for businesses, those advantages include many economic advantages, like reducing costs and increasing productivity and efficiency, and ensuring quality standards, and also robot usages preventing work accidents for human, especially, and margins of error, and it strengthens the brand image, and it's very easy targeting the markets with those usages. While for users, for customers, guests, it occurs in various forms, those advantages like easy, quick, and complete access to informations and service, and it gives so many extraordinary experiences to the guests. The purpose of the study is that we know the robot technology uses in the service industry has become very widespread, while the number of studies are still very limited. for robot technologies in hotels. Therefore, it's important to increase those studies about guest tendency to stay in hotels, robotic hotels especially. And the main purpose of the study is to evaluate the effect of robot types that can be used in hotels on the intention to stay. So there are so many different robots using in hotels. So the robot types and the perspective of customers to using those robots are very important now. The originality and value of this study considers the effect of different types of robots on customers' intention to use service robots in hotels and the intention to stay in those robotic hotels. So some practical suggestions of the study to tourism businesses, to the hoteliers that intend to use robots or are currently using them are very important. Okay, as methodology, based on the literature review, a conceptual model was developed, and it was decided that robots can be used in hotels such as services such as reception, concierge, luggage carrying, room service, room cleaning, corridors cleaning, waitressing, cooking, security, bartender and barmaid services, spa and wellness, and entertainment animation services. And it's an exploratory research. Survey method was used as a data source to measure hotel services where robots can be used and customers' intention to stay in the hotel. Okay, Likert scale was used in the questionnaire. The importance of using robots in different hotel services was measured with a 5-point Likert scale. And the intention to stay factor was measured with 3 items on a 5-point Likert scale again. And the structural equation modeling with partial least squares estimation, PLS-SEM method was used to analyze 254 responses in this exploratory research to examine different types, 12 different types robot services categorized into 2 factors by exploratory factor analysis, have on intention to stay hotel. The findings and discussions part in the exploratory factor analysis results carried out in the first stage, the use of robots in hotel services was evaluated under 2 main factors. The first factor we define as food and beverage services and secondary services, and it consists of waitressing, cooking, security, bartender and barmaid, spa wellness, and entertainment services. The second factor is room division, consists of concierge, luggage carrying, room service, room cleaning, corridors cleaning. The reception service variable was excluded from the analysis in the exploratory factor analysis because it was under several factors. Construct reliability and validity values of each factors have been measured within the acceptable range according to the researchers. And the results show that both factors have a significant impact on the dependent variable, the guest intention to stay. However, the effect size of first factor is relatively weak, while the effect size of the second factor is medium and relatively with a high coefficient. So the second factor is room division. I underline one more time. Okay, the theoretical implications. When we search in the literature, we saw that most of the essays are conceptually developed and thematically, and they're both addressing the impact of these robots on the workforce. In this case, where transformation is foreseen with artificial intelligence in the tourism services, it's important to have studies that will enable the employer to produce the necessary strategies. Studies in this area have discussed the outputs of the service robots, such as costs and service quality. A group of studies determined the effect of various variables on customers' intention to use robots. In the field, to the best of our knowledge, there is no study investigating the effect of different types of robots, changing according to the departments, on the intention to use. The original contribution of the study is to investigate the use intention of individuals against 12 different types of robots that can be used in hotels. Also, it shows the guest intentions to stay according to the use of robots in different hotel services. So we are searching for the guest perspective. Do they like to use different types of robots in different departments in the hotels? The practical implications is increasing the search to measure the guests or potential guest views of robots, and accommodation percentage intentions is critical for the hotel industry to make accurate market analysis and demand forecasts. In this context, this study, which reveals intention of hotel guests to use different types of robots, serves this issue. Limitations of the research are non-probability convenience sampling method was used in the essay as a data collection method. Future studies that prefer probabilistic methods will open a different perspective. In addition, the use of a more significant number of samples will make an essential contribution to the generalization of the results. And finally, investigating the possibility of deploying robots in services other than those described in the research and their effect on consumer perception will make significant academic and practical contributions. Thank you for listening all. I gave a bit limited information because the full paper is under the publish process. Thank you all.
All right. Okay. Thank you, and well done to Didar Sarikali for your presentation. That was very interesting topic. Now let's just open to the audience for any questions, please.
Hello, I have a question for you, Ms.
Hello.
Presenter.
Hello,
Yeah.
doctor.
Can I have a look at that robot again so that to get the idea of how robot works in a hotel? Can share the slide again on the robot picture?
Just a second. Yeah.
All right, great.
Here it is. Those are some of them from front office and from restaurant, F&B operations. And again, human-like robots you see under the, just next to the Sarıçalı. And there is again a room service robots you see on the right side. Some of them.
Okay, all right. So my question would be, what's the advantages or what extra of these robots in working compared to human in that hotel? Yep.
Well, actually, I guess people want to see a more human-like robots in some departments that they get in touch, like front office, reception area. And it comes so interesting to them in order to look at mechanical, just home device objects. So it will be more sympathetic to them. It's just a guess. But there are so many, again, research about human-like robots. Is that better to use in hotels or not?
All right. I hope nearby hotel in my area have that kind of robot so that I can experience it.
Hope to. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for
Maybe
sharing.
we will visit Henna Hotel one day together.
Okay, thank you, Miss Patricia, for the question. Is there any other questions from the audience to ask Didar? Okay, I think I have one question for you, Didar, if you are okay with that. Since when we look at your research title, the impact of different types of services and also intention to stay, my question is, I don't know because I haven't been to your country before. You are from Turkey, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah,
Turkey,
okay.
that's right.
Yes, okay. I haven't been to your country before, but my question is, when it comes to using robot services and intention to stay, at the hotels in your country, I'm not sure whether this is included in your research or not, but just answer based on your observation, okay? Because you are living in Turkey and I've never been there before, as I mentioned. So do you think that the cost of staying in the hotel would be increased because of utilizing the robots instead of the human? I'm asking about the rate of the rooms or the services. Is that going to be much expensive as before because you are using the robots at your hotel? Thank you, Didar.
Yes, thank you very much. Very nice question. In this technology level, maybe for the first or second year of the hotel, it might be more expensive. But if especially it is a resort hotel that has so many rooms, so many guests, and so many personnel working there, that might be more economic. And we will see a few years later, it will be more cheaper. It's more economic to use according to the human in a hotel, because a robot will make maybe 10, maybe 100 people's work just alone. So it would be unemployment, of course, tourism, unemployment factor for Yemen too, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. There's a pros and cons on utilizing the robots. You know, we miss something, we add something, for example. But anyway, thank you for the answer, Didar. Good luck and well done for the presentation just now. Now, let's just move on to the last presentation for this session 3, room 1. Let's just welcome Ferhat Sekar. Hopefully, I can pronounce your name correctly. This is again
Yes.
Ferhat Sekar with the title, Why Do People Use Tourism Mobile Apps with a Paper ID SMA104? The floor is yours, Dr. Ferhat, and you may start your presentation. Good luck.
Thank you very much, madam. I'm trying to share my screen. Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Chair, co-chair, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Ferhat Şeker. I work as a doctor at Adana Science and Technology University in Turkey. I'm going to present the paper we prepared with my friends, Gökhan and Ahmet. But before proceeding with my presentation, I would like to thank everyone who organized and contributed to this precious Congress. The title of our paper is Why Do People Use Tourism Mobile Apps? We set out to determine the key factor of the reasons for people to use tourism mobile applications, such as Skyscanner, Airbnb, Booking.com app, TripAdvisor app, BlaBlaCar, and so on. Before moving on to the reasons why people use tourism mobile applications, I think it is necessary to ask why this study, isn't it? Tourism mobile apps help users for planning travel, accommodation bookings, ticket bookings, cab booking, route mapping, and more. Given the expanding value and market potential of the mobile applications, this paper suggests crucial empirical evidence about the determinants of tourism mobile apps usage reasons for the app developers. On the other hand, another importance of this study is that there is a limited study in the literature investigating the reasons for the use of mobile tourism applications. So from this point of view, we can summarize the purpose of the paper as follows. The aim of this study is to determine key factor affecting behavior of using tourism mobile apps. This is our purpose, the study. Based on the literature review, we identified 4 variables for the use of technology-based products. The first of them is technological self-efficacy. According to literature and theoretical background, if people are good at technology, they prefer to use technology-based products. Here is an example statement of the technological self-efficacy scale. I have the knowledge and skills to use technological devices. The second reason for using technology-based products is convenience. Thanks to the accessibility, portability, appropriateness, and handiness of a technological product, people want to use it. Here is an example statement of the convenience scale. The payment procedure of using these apps to book tickets, restaurant, and hotel services is relatively simple. The Third independent variable of our study is time saving. In a study carried out by mathematician Kathy Staples, she found that, on average, technology saves about 2 weeks per year. Therefore, time saving is one of the reasons for using technology-based products. Using these apps to book tickets, restaurant, and hotel services is less time consuming than booking in store. Is an example statement of the time saving scale. The final factor affecting the use of technology-based products is financial advantage. Online shopping offers people, as we all know, promotions and discounts. Besides, prices are cheaper than in store. Generally, the price is relatively low when booking tickets, restaurant, and hotel services through these apps is an example item of the financial advantage scale. So, if we summarize the model of the research, let's say there are 4 independent variables and 1 dependent variable. Also, 4 hypotheses have been established based on the literature review. Technological self-efficacy, convenience, time saving, and financial advantage positively influence behavior of using tourism mobile apps. This study employs a quantitative method and a self-administered survey to collect data. The survey was prepared online, and the data were collected between March-April 2021. 213 usable questionnaires were collected. The sample size is greater than 100 and has more than 10 observations for each variable. So we can say the sample has a sufficient size for PLS technique. In order to assess overall measurement quality and test the hypothesis, a 2-step approach was applied. In the first step, confirmatory factor analysis was employed to test the validity of the measurement scales. Then, the data were analyzed using partial least squares structural equation modeling, also known as PLS-CEM, to examine the relationships in the model. The structural model confirmed significant relationships between variables, except for hypothesis 4. Only hypothesis 4 is not supported. Perceived financial advantage does not have a significant effect on the use of tourism mobile applications. The finding can be interpreted as people don't use apps to saving money, but there is a significant positive impact of time saving on behavior. When we look at the beta coefficients, it's 0.335. This variable has the greatest effect on behavior of using tourism mobile apps. According to this finding, we can say time saving is a key determinant of tourism mobile apps. Besides convenience and technological self-efficacy, have significant positive impacts on behavior of using tourism mobile apps. Lastly, according to R-Square, 56% of tourism mobile apps usage is explained by the independent variables. Theoretical implications of this study. This study attempts to contribute theoretically to understanding determinants of tourism mobile apps through the perceived advantages such as time saving, financial advantage, convenience, and technological self-efficacy. To do so, a conceptual model was established based on the literature. The model was tested with the path analysis created within the scope of PLS-CEM. The findings of the study offer valuable empirical evidence to tourism researchers. Also, the paper offers some practical implications for the industry. According to the study findings, time saving has the highest coefficient when tourism mobile apps usage is the dependent variable. However, financial advantage does not affect using of tourism mobile apps. Consumers might place more value on time than money. For this reason, tourism mobile apps developers should attempt to enhance the application's performance and optimize the opening speed of applications. Convenience is also another determinant of tourism mobile apps usage. So, mechanical breakdowns should be minimized as much as possible, not to disrupt users. The limitations of this study may offer avenues for future research. This research is conducted with 213 participants. In order to allow generalization of the research found, the proposed model should be tested with larger sample size. Future studies may also include different advantage of applications, such as safety or product diversity as independent variables into the model. Thank you for listening to me patiently.
Okay, that was the end of Farhad Sarkar presentation. Why do people use tourism mobile apps? And let's just open to the floor. But before that, if I am not mistaken, they've got someone raising his hands just now, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, that was, I can't remember his name, but Guhan Kadirhan, if I'm not mistaken, you raised your hands just now while Farhad, was doing his presentation. Guhan Kadirhan, do you have anything or questions to ask?
I think it was by mistake.
Okay. In that case, fair enough. So now let's just open questions to the audience. Any question to ask Farhad Sarkar for his presentation?
I have a question.
Yes, please. Yes, please, Miss Christine.
Dr. Farhad, I just want to know, what was your sample again?
We had random sampling, and 230 users wanted to participate in our survey.
All right. So could you please tell us what are some of the limitations you face when dealing with your sample?
We collected the data about in a month between March and April, and we shared the survey in our social media accounts, and voluntarily it was our the must, and we only reached 230 participants online that people want to participate in this survey. And also it was some streaks in our country due to the COVID-19. We couldn't reach the people face to face. That's why we tried to reach them online. It was our the biggest maybe limitation of the collecting data. Thank you
Yes.
for the question.
Thank you. I couldn't agree more, Doctor. Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Miss Christine, for the question and also answer from Dr. Farhad. Is any more question from the audience?
Hello, Dr. Farhad. I have one question.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, can you give some or few mobile apps that that you address in the study?
Skyscanner, Airbnb, BlaBlaCar, TripAdvisor app, and also Booking.com. There is an application for the mobile phones also.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Miss Patricia and also Dr. Farhad for the answer. Is there any more questions from the audience? Okay, I think if there is no more questions, thank you so much for the presentation, Dr. Farhad, and also audience who addressed the question just now.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, as I think that was it for the second day of the third session, room 1 for the International Joint Conference on Hospitality and Tourism 2021. So, Miss Nadia, can we wrap up this session?
Yes, Doctor.
Sorry, Miss Nadia, I can't hear your voice. Okay, I think I proceed. Yeah, again, in conjunction for the International Joint Conference on Hospitality and Tourism 2021. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all of the participants, all of the presenters. In this session 3, room 1, day 2, on the 14th of September. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your contribution, your involvement in this conference, international conference. Again, let me say it out loud, the name of the presenter, Mr. Loh Hao Zhang, Ms. Noraini Othman, Dr. Didar Sarikali, and also Farhad Sekar. Thank you so much, and I think that was it for this session. All the best to us. Stay safe, everyone. Let's just together fight against COVID-19. Stay safe and enjoy the conference. Tomorrow is the closing date for the conference. I think that was it from me as the chairperson. Miss Nadia, do you want to add more?
Hi. Thank you to all presenter, Dr. Azliana, Dr. Farhad Sekar, Madam Didar Sari, Ms. Nuraini Othman, as well as Madam Patricia and Madam Christine. Thank you, everyone. That's all from me. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. So that was it. And take care, everyone. Thank you so much. And Assalamualaikum. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you and all the best. Thank you.